Good afternoon to everyone that is viewing this video. This is Philip W. and I am back again. I am here to address the recent video that has been going viral and that has been swirling around the internet, and that is the video with Kanye West pretty much talking to TMZ, and he ended up getting into it with one of the guys that was working in there. I can't think of the guy's name off of the top of my head, but it was a lot of back and forth things going on, and Kanye West was speaking his piece and saying how he felt, and then one of the guys from TMZ, he basically just laid it on Kanye West and just told him exactly how he felt and just really laid it completely out. And honestly, like, the dude had like a really good point, like he was really telling Kanye West like where he really messed up at by saying certain stuff, especially like when he said that slavery was a choice or something like that. And let me just give my input on this whole entire situation, because honestly I feel that it's really, really sad that in 2018 that we still have not gotten past these things. And as I addressed in my previous video, Kanye West, he could support whoever he wants to support. As I said, he's a grown man, he can support who he wants. But there was a lot of things that he was saying in one of the videos I was watching on YouTube, and he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. He's a very, very intelligent guy. He's very talented. He has good music. I personally don't have a problem with Kanye West. However, a lot of things that he said in the video, I will admit that, Kanye did have a lot of good points in terms of like what people would think of you if you have too much body weight on you. And he said that he was on opioids because of that. And the part that really hit home for me was when he had said that the media controls us in a way, which it does. As a society, we do allow a lot of things to really control how we think and how we run our lives, so he really hit the bullseye with that one. But the only thing I did not agree with Kanye was when, like I said, when he said that slavery was a choice. Because first of all, if slavery was a choice, then don't you think that maybe, just maybe, that my ancestors, other black people's ancestors, would have most likely made a choice on what route they wanted to take if slavery was really a choice? Like, I just don't agree with slavery being a choice, because for one, there was no choice. For one, there was no choice, especially when there were so many laws that had worked against black people, especially back in the slavery days. And even the white people that seen slavery as wrong, because there were white people back then that seen it as wrong, even the ones that wanted to help them, they couldn't do much either, because they had to go by the laws, or otherwise they would end up meeting their match with the lawmakers and most likely got killed. Now, my only thing, like with the whole slavery thing, I feel that if white people really wanted us to be here that badly, then maybe they should have thought of another way to bring us here, or let our ancestors made that decision themselves, because either way, some of us would have ended up here anyway, and as grateful as I am to be here in America, there is nothing that justifies how they brought Africans here, people here of African descent. There's nothing that justifies them putting chains around their necks, whipping them, beating them, scrutinizing them, raping them, because they rape the men and the women. There's nothing that justifies that. And if there's people out there that really thinks that that was morally okay, then I feel like you need your head examined. I mean, it's an immoral act, like there's nothing to justify slavery. And at the end of the day, Like in the end, those people are going to have to answer to God. You know, they're all going to have to answer to God. And even when slavery was over, you know, black people were still facing a lot of injustices and a lot of discrimination, and not being able to eat in the same restaurants, not being able to use the same restrooms or drink from the same drinking fountains. So, you know, from day one, it's like it was just this non-stop target on people's back just because of the color of their skin. And what people fail to realize is, especially certain white people that don't understand how upset and angry black people are, what certain white people fail to understand is that the reason why most of them is in such superior power today is because of their ancestors and what their ancestors originally started, because they were here before we were here, and they started this trademark for their next generations to come, and that's why a lot of white people are able to get healthcare benefits, you know, good jobs, and a lot of other different things that the average minority struggles to get. Now, I'm not saying that because you're a minority that you have to necessarily use that as a handicap to try to throw it up in people's face, because that's not necessarily right either, because I do feel that black people have to work their way from the ground up to keep their head above water. It's not going to be easy, but you know, we can't keep we can't keep shifting blame everywhere. You know, we also have to try to help ourselves get successful as well. And I another thing I want to point out is, you know, also I feel that if white people wanted us here as well, you know, then, you know, they could have just shipped some of the Africans here, and they could have just let them work from the ground up and let them build a life, because they do it with any other people that comes here to America, especially the immigrants that come from different countries, you know. So they could have just did it like the right way, and maybe there wouldn't be so much misunderstanding between two different races. And I don't know if we're ever going to get past things like this, but the only thing that I really wish is that Kanye West, like, I just really want him to really wake up and realize that you cannot, like, you cannot force people to believe one specific thing that you only believe and just expect everybody to follow suit, because everyone's going to have different opinions of everything. So that's pretty much like my whole opinion on everything. And honestly, like, the whole situation is just crazy, and I just feel that if people understood each other more and what each other's intentions were more, then maybe we wouldn't have these many misunderstandings between different races. You know, like, it's just, I mean, people just have to learn to respect other people's opinions and just let them go their own way. And, you know, people need to just start doing that. People need to do that for a start, you know. And people need to start respecting each other, and people need to just get over the fact that there are other people here in this country. You're not the only race here, and you're never going to be the only race that's here, you know. And especially people out there that are even racist today towards other races. You really don't have any right to be mad at black people, because black people never did anything wrong. And I can't think of one thing that black people really did to make other races prejudice against us. I really can't think of anything. The only excuse that people can think of is, well, they act thuggish like, and this and this and that. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that back in the 1800s they weren't acting thuggish like, you know. And for the ones that is acting thuggish like, then okay, then let them be a thug. Let them go out and do what they do and get in trouble, but don't stereotype all people, you know, because not all thugs are bad people and not all white people are racist. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So, you guys, let me know what you think on this situation, and I'm just going to leave it at that.